not even
hour. It's an hour. You're plus
You
7.
see, I'm +6 now. That's what's happening. Like, I'm not even in the studio right now. You're talking to a hallucination.
Right, catch up. All right, so this could be the Beatrix. There's several other answers. I think we brought up the carry. Could be.
Yeah, Carrie, definitely Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie.
Beatrix, though.
Anything with a dash, honestly.
Rockard, the Leslie's dangerous. You've been mentioning it since game 2, man.
You do not want to be...
There it is.
There you go, you
Bea.
know? Snipe Perez.
There's the heart of the MPL.
Locked in. And this is what you want against I would say, a Eve. You never want to choose a marksman without a dash. The
Bro.
moment you're trapped inside of that real-world manipulation,
It's
you're
over.
kind of dead, man.
But that's the Bea in the hands of
you're
Perez,
dead.
man.
All right.
Let's see if she even uses the sniper. A lot of the Beatrix users at this point in time opts for the rocket launcher. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's been 2 years of Beatrix, and we've finally cycled through all 4 weapons
That's
in
true.
the meta.
That's just Moonton understanding and doing their job, and
Yeah.
it's good.
That is
What
true.
if they just introduce a 5th weapon, you know?
That's a
something
lot.
else.
That's just too much.
Here we go. As expected, there's the
Yo!
Lolita, but the Terizla, I wouldn't say that was
I-
I didn't see that coming.
No. I didn't expect that as well.
Even Vivero, you can see her face like, yo.
That
She's-
is... You know, but we've seen a lot of XP laners pick up the Terizla lately. I would say that it's mainly because of the amount of counter engage that you could actually do.
Yep.
But in terms of the laning phase against the Lapu Lapu, you don't really lane against the Lapu Lapu. It's just like sustaining each other's lane and maybe even cutting a few,
Cutting
you know?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're better off just leaving it.
True, but looks like their last pick would be this Kaja. I actually like this, you know?
That's pretty powerful. It actually will slow down the progression of a Terizla as well as a Lolita. So it will kind of relatively, you know, the Farce is relatively safe here.
Yep.
Same with the Matrix, depending on the situation.
So, given that last pick Kaja, which is, if I'm not mistaken, what Team Philippines did as well in Game 2, they should be pretty solid. Good approach. And the box that Indonesia presents is now slightly breakable. I actually like this.
Yo! I like your prediction as well, Leo.
Thank you.
Very much
Absolutely.
Indonesia.
Stats don't lie.
I'm a man that believes in history. Like, if you don't learn from history,
You're
then you
bound
can't
to
move
repeat
forward.
them, you know?
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, so
Also-
since you believe in history, do you believe that this could be an Indonesian repeat?
Also, just the same, if you watched the recently concluded broadcast for MPL Philippines,
Yeah,
season
what's
11, then you know what's up.
What's up? I watched it, but I don't know what's up.
Just pay attention. Catch up.
All right, I will, because we're entering this best of 1 against Indonesia and the Philippines.
Oh,
We
man.
have this is technically just a fight for who gets the first seed or
Yep.
the second seed.
But also, I think now that we've talked about it, there's a good amount of bragging rights as well.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
biggest
true,
thing.
It's intangible. There are no medals for it. But if the Philippines finishes this group stage on top,
it's gonna be part of those articles, you know.
Exactly.
Like the moment Philippines or Indonesia secures them, writers in the media room right now are gonna be like, Indonesia defeats Philippines and goes 2-0 inside the group stage. That's
Yeah.
already an article, and you do not want to be on the receiving end of that article, you know.
That also kind of has a mental hit to it, right? There's a
Yeah.
mental factor when things like it happen. And yes, this is also momentum for the whole tournament. If you think about it, because that's something that these players are going to have in the back of their heads.
yeah. Because again, history states that Indonesian women's MLBB is dominant. It's the supreme discipline. But if here somehow the Philippines gets the better of Indonesia in a best of 1, that's basically not much closer to a gold.
That's true.
And now we are seeing Indonesia getting a slight gold lead, but a lot of action happening around that turtle area. We're
Uh-oh.
seeing like 3 people down there. But of course, we're gonna watch the gold laners just juke it out with their zoning abilities.
Yeah, and right now it's looking like Indonesia's leaning hard towards that Terizla pick. Alongside Vival and Cine, they have pretty good control of the forward bushes.
Dear
It's going to be a little bit
Lord.
difficult for
Oh,
Morris.
goes in.
Checking it out. Man, that was an unexpected check right there.
Uh-oh.
Here's the Numino Blast. Vivian,
Oh,
the
baby!
backstep Numino Blast combo with the penalty zone will result to first blood. There
Oh.
goes another one, and the bodies are just hitting the floor.
2 down?
Yeah. That was like, it wasn't even a sidestep. It was like a sidestep, backstep.
Fade
even
away.
It was like a fade away. Great micro coming in from Indonesia. Now with the turtle, the first blood and a bonus kill, Philippines is looking like a sad team there in that exchange.
That was
All
not the
right.
best start at all.
Just the way Team Philippines ramped up into the early, it's difficult because Indonesia leveraged that XP lane share rotation that a lot of teams have started to pick up in the past couple of weeks. And because of that, Vivero didn't have the Divine Judgment, and that opened up Vivian's 2-woman Numenon Blast, sidestep 360, back.
No scope.
No scope. It was ridiculous, honestly. A team fight like that should have happened, what, at 6 or 7 minutes? But they happened to pull it off at 2. Here's another look.
Yeah, and with a Squid Game up there.
Oh no, that's the tail end of that
That's the
engagement.
tail end.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
already
yeah.
the tail end, and I feel like usually we wait for the real-world manipulation or even the feathered airstrike before we go on for those big setups. But honestly, the micro coming in from Indonesia in that fight gave them this 2K gold lead alone.
Huge. 2K at 3 minutes?
That was powerful. That was a powerful move there from Indonesia for sure.
Thinking of how the Philippines might actually clap back, I'd say this is a good thing that the gold lane isn't where the turtle is. If ever it was, there would be so much pressure on the shoulders of Perez. So now, the fact that the tempo up top is going to remain the same, the Philippines might actually have a better go again, round 2,
Yeah.
and retake that fight down bottom. Just maybe, unless... Oh.
Yeah, the dive is definitely a lot stronger in Indonesia with Vatrezla and headed by the Akai. So that top lane might have actually been in trouble. That's a good spot. Right now, V-Turtle will be spawning on the bottom side, which means that this will be definitely telegraphed here for the Philippines as well.
Yeah, and now we are just waiting for the second turtle of the game to spawn. El Puerto will be securing her purple first. But with Indonesia already around that turtle pit, they might even just pull it away from the side of the Philippines. And I feel like they won't even contest. Like the Philippines would just give this turtle for free.
Yeah, I think this is the right call as well. No contest. Diagon just keeping them busy. Maybe giving them the 50-50. A little bit of a try. But no, if the Philippines are investing hard into their gold lane at this point.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening here. Sheldo with good footwork, able to dodge on out of those feathered airstrikes. And again, that means that the movements of the Philippine delegation on the top side has been basically nullified.
Yeah, still a 2K gold lead for the Indonesian squad. Philippines, as you said, Leo, they're waiting for this Beatrix power spike. And looking at how the Beatrix is built right now in the current meta, you usually go for big damage and armor penetration.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Vivero reveals them all.
That was a very good reveal, though. It's not going to slow down Indonesia at the moment. They are still on the fence. They are also still ready to go and pounce if given the chance.
So here's what's happening right now. Just reading the room. Given I've casted these women in this configuration, these teams very specifically, sparingly throughout the past couple of years. This is what happens to Indonesia's opponents a lot of times. When they get a small lead in the early, they just keep pushing the tempo. You see here how, a majority of Indonesia's teams, their members, oh wait.
Oh, man, that's actually a very effective dive.
She's not going anywhere.
Expending all their resources to take out that bot, and they will also get a turret for their efforts.
All right, so I was saying, they're always on the opponent side of the map. You see how all of the members are always crossing the river at this point? Now, I'm not sure if they expected that gank from Team Philippines.
Yeah, that was very surprising. The moment the flicker was burnt from Vivero, just going in for the Divine Judgment as well, there's really no surviving both physical and magical damage dropping on you with the Bravest Fighter and the Feathered Airstrike. Even if you're one of the tankier members in the name of Fumieko, you really can't, especially in this phase of the game where you don't even have your first 2 tanky items yet.
Yeah, and actually, I completely agree with Leo said earlier, where this is exactly usually the pattern that we see from Indonesian opponents. If they get a lead, the enemies start to turtle up, right? And then Indonesia pushes the tempo, which is, I think, a little different from what's happening right now Although, of course, Vivero would still be in trouble. Solo kill by Fumi Echo.
Jagon.
Jagon also gonna get punished. Oh my goodness, across the board, the Philippines are losing out.
Oh man, I feel like that's a slight issue of miscommunication from the side of Philippines. They went in for a lot of solo fights. Maybe not so much for the side of Fumi Echo, considering that she was the one who engaged that one. But for the side of Jagon, we did see him go for the bravest fighter, and that spelled disaster for the Philippines. Now Indonesia is up by 3 kills.
Something tells me Diagon understood that she was gonna die regardless, because Team Philippines are now playing a very expensive trading game. Because of that engagement down bottom that Team Philippines managed to extend, there was a push up top.
Vivero!
Oh my god, Vivero! He got slowed down! But the Numino Blast was not gonna be charged up. There goes
Jagon!
Vivero. He's going in. Jagon's in enemy territory, and it is not a healthy trade for the Philippines at all.
That could have been a very healthy trade for Philippines, but they got a little bit too greedy. The healing coming in from Fumi Echo was enough to keep her alive. And Indonesia still ahead by 2,000, but great attempt coming in from the Philippines.
I think that flicker in by Vivero was read in, man.
Yeah. Man, let me quote Ariana Grande and Nathan Sykes here. Almost is never enough. That almost made the difference, but just the same, they only got shell. And again, as I previously mentioned, they're playing on a very expensive trade. Yes, it's good that it's a gold lane you took out, but if you're going to trade 2 for it at this point, when you're down 2K at 8 minutes, might not be the best.
Yeah, let's see if it does pay off for Indonesia, though. They've been holding on to this 2K gold lead for the past 4 minutes. It hasn't really grown, or it hasn't really shifted.
What?
But looks like they're going to get a kill on Fumi Echo. That wasn't really caught on camera. But Fumi Echo didn't have that flicker on her.
It's a good
during
pick off.
that time.
It's a good pick off.
Yeah,
It was.
of all the people to get picked off, that's the least one that you expect. The Terizla.
Or that, or Vival. Actually, yeah. That's a lot of peel. I think that's one thing that the Team Philippines has to consider, is the fact that there's a lot of peel and a lot of hard targets from Team Indonesia, that Vivero has to pick her targets very, very wisely.
Yeah, and now Indonesia only with a 1K gold lead, even barely 1K.
Ooh.
Philippines equalizes the game, and they're going to be the first ones to touch the Lord. This is just a level 1 Lord, but it looks like they're going to start the dance already. In Indonesia, a little bit late to the chase.
Philippines has a good position here for the Lord take.
Yeah.
And Fumi Echo, obviously, it's still checked out by Indonesia,
Oh.
but definitely they are ahead a little bit on the tempo. Although Vivero is nowhere to be found here, so I don't know if Indonesia is aware of this.
Philippine playstyle heavily depends on a lot of Lord dances, though. Philippines might have an edge here. But let's see if Indonesia had basically evolved from their team fight heavy plays.
This is very worth it. Look at the pressure and the wave that the Philippines have brought up. They just need to make sure that indeed it does. Wow!
Ooh.
Because of how quiet the past minute has been, Perez and Vivero have been able to push that tier 2 up top.
And that's massive. All of that from a Lord dance.
Yeah, then this is just the specialty of the Philippines, mastering the Lord dance. But the team fight is a mastery of the Indonesian squad themselves. The Al Puerto might just go down.
Those are 4 people from Indonesia diving straight into El Puerto, throwing everything that they have with the Philippine gold laner on the back
still
as
alive!
well. I don't know how he survived that long, but El Puerto definitely looking really good. She contributes so much. Vivero will get caught out though. I don't know where Perez was in that whole thing, but I think they're focusing more on the turrets, Leo.
Yeah, she made an early call. I wonder from who, though, if it was her initiative or if it was the rest of the squad. But look, she's switching up.
Yeah.
This might be an extended engagement because look, Vivero and Alberto are back in just 5 seconds, but nope, Indonesia's going to blitz this.
Yeah.
Lord secured for the side of Indonesia, back to a 2K gold lead. Might just be even a bigger gold lead the moment that they go in with the level 1 Lord. Thankfully for Philippines, it's still just a level 1 Lord, despite it being very close to the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, that play went down like a house of cards, man. That was very, I would say, poorly built.
Yeah, they missed that corner spot and then it all fell down. And I think that's where Perez, I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt that it was the better choice. But wait, Vivian!
Look at that! What a pickoff coming in from the Philippines!
Jagon.
They're not done.
Oh, look at the
Alberto
damage.
locked in. Oh, that Eve from City
Fumi.
getting a double kill. Then the Indonesian powerhouse is really showing up, and there it is for free.
Chinny with the Eve, just going in for 3 kills. A lot of damage coming in from this Eve, and usually we don't see this because a lot of Eve players go in for a lot of, let's say, utility. But what if the utility is the edge to kill?
Yeah, Chinny's built diff, and the fact that her sister Chell is making the most of this is just lethal. Because again, this is a lineup that is a trademark. This is basically MLBB 101. You have 2 core heroes, the mid laner and the gold laner, and then 3 chunky boys, or girls in this case.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Team Fight for Indonesia so easy to get.
And I have to say, the
6K.
real world manipulation allows for Muddles to shine even better.
Yeah.
The moment that you get like 3 people in, you throw in Muddles, that's basically it.
Yeah, there goes the real world like we talked about, but will be cancelled almost immediately. Penalty zone to the ground just for the disengage. Indonesia's starting to play a little bit more safer, but I agree, this duo of Indonesia, Chinny and Chell, they're almost untouchable at this point.
I'm not even sure how it happened. It was just like within the last 5 minutes, their gold lead from 1K jumped to an entire 5.6K gold lead.
I'll tell you how.
Maybe save it for the post-game analysis.
Okay. I physically put my hands in my pockets, gentlemen. But here's the thing, folks watching at home, really more than once in the past 2 or 3 minutes, the Philippines actually hesitated. The Philippines actually went in for something and then said, nope, never mind. They pulled back on what they were going to go for, and now they're forced to play from a defensive position. Earlier, they were actually going for things. Fellas, you remember, right, when there were still concealed plays, forward flickers from Vivero, and now, because of how those didn't pay off, they're now really just forced to play inside their base. I think that's the safest bet at this point.
Yeah.
Play inside your base and force Fumi Echo to overextend and maybe get a couple more kills on her or Vival.
I mean, they still have to pick off Chinny. Chinny's like 6-0-4. That's a lot of money on her head.
She's truly untouchable.
And basically, that's the Philippines playing a little bit half-hearted if you look at it that way. They're starting to lose confidence that they can take immediately what Indonesia has. So now, they might be relegated to just play around and wait for Indonesia to make a mistake here.
Yep, look at El Puerto. She is very deep. But luckily enough, she is one of the chunkier members, one of the tougher members, durable, from Team Philippines. But look, she's sandwiched. What's that? 3 waiting in that bush
That's
for her?
scary.
I wonder which one she sees. I wonder if she even sees Vivian.
Vivian
now
has
she
shown
does.
herself. Plus the reset on the Lord. The Lapu-Lapu will be going back on the gold lane, try to shove the waves a bit. But this is essentially a 4v5 between Indonesia and Philippines, as the Lord is being taken down once again for Indonesia. Already half HP on this Lord at Philippines. They have to make a move. They have to make it now.
This is tough.
It's all going to be down to El Puerto and Vivero. Who is going to make the initiate? It looks like it's going to be both of them going for the 50-50. Not going to be happening. Secured still by Indonesia is the Lord. Going down is Vivero for their efforts. Perez might also be in trouble. There goes the heavy spin. Diagon will be relatively safe, but no, they're going to get caught out and pincered into the Indonesian delegation.
Wow!
Massive damage coming in from Amores.
Amores striking back for the side of Philippines. Indonesia did secure that Lord, growing their gold lead from 6 to 7.5K, and they still have the Luminous Lord marching on the top side of the map. It's still going to be up to Philippines to defend against this one, though it will be initially a 4v5.
Okay, good news and bad news. Good news, the Philippines has great highland defense. This is what I was pertaining to when I said that they have to play inside of their base, right? Outside is a no-no. Inside is fine, and that's how they got the shutdown on Vival. Bad news is it really doesn't change much. The fact that the waves of Indonesia are enhanced by getting that that enhanced Lord and even the level 1 Lord makes the inside the base play about the only real option.
Yeah, they're cut thin right now.
And this is going to be a base defense coming in from the Philippines. We'll be able to take down the Lord on the top side. But looks like Indonesia still has plans to take the bottom tier inhibitor turret. And they will be able to do so with a big siege minion going up bot. And now the mid lane only remains for the side of the Philippines. Still a 7K gold lead for the side of Indonesia. And Chinny still unstoppable. Perfect game so far for her.
Indonesia seems to have a chokehold right now of
Yep.
what the Philippines can do, and they're not letting go at all. Philippines, at the very least, understand their win condition
Yep.
does rely on that high ground defense.
Yep, and the amount of gold that they have should be the clear sign that, yeah, no, we need to wait. Some way, somehow, Amores needs to be able to farm a little more. Perez, not enough of a core alone to carry them out of the situation. And yeah, if somehow Team Philippines can take one on Chini, should be the difference maker.
Okay, I don't know what that flicker was, Vivero, but it was in vain as Huerta will still go down. And that's another man down for the defense of the Philippines here. 7K goal lead for Indonesia. They might just push the effort, but luckily, no Lord available for the taking.
Vivian is from out of this world. I mean, she's from Indonesia, I understand. But no, the way she's been playing this Lolita from minute 0. As soon as she got that level 4, she was playing that Numenon Blast like, oh wait.
Here we go. Here's the pull act by Vivero. Good intercept from Fumeko. Now, it's going to be the clear. Diago with the flicker in. Not hitting the mark once more. Nerves are starting to set into the Philippine delegation. Diago got willed down by the Melissa.
Still a 4v5 scenario here with the Evolve Lord already spawning. Indonesia still holds a very big lead against the Philippines, and they could potentially make it even bigger the moment they secure this Evolve Lord. I don't think Philippines could try to contest this. They could try to go for the steal, but it's going to be very dangerous to do so.
All right, to try and solve the whole Vivian problem, and again, seeing how Vivian has been amazing since the start of this best of one, maybe, just maybe, Vivero should even hold her Divine Judgment back anymore. Just use it on the Lolita. It's worth it at this point.
Yeah, just make sure that they don't get the Sept, or even, you know, the last time that we saw Vivero flicker, try to go for Chini, but Chini just literally walked away, didn't even burn the flicker.
She just walked.
She just walked, and that must have been so frustrating
hovered.
for Philippines.
These are the moments where it might be more economical to just go at whoever's up front.
Yeah.
Right? Just make use of it rather than just not get any value from your skills.
Yeah, something tells me this Eve is rocking a Brute Force breastplate in addition to the Blood Wings. So yeah, easier said than done. Even if you do find a way to catch Chini off guard or
Can you
off
burst
position, can you burst her? Can you kill her? Because she still also has a flicker.
Yeah, this could be the last play here. Seal already committed by Indonesia. There's Vivero looking for the targets. Noon Blast is charged in. Looks like there's going to be a cancel onto the feathered airstrike, and the defense will not be possible. Indonesia takes the game from the Philippines.
And the first seed coming in from Group A will be the undisputed queens of the women's division of MLBB.